Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our special day, Sri Lanka Day 2024. On behalf of the Federation of Sri Lankan Organizations in Queensland and its member organizations, let me extend you a very warm welcome for being with us today. Let me begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we gather today and pay our respect to their elders past, present and emerging. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the distinguished lineup of guests here today. Honorable Milton Dick, Speaker of the Federal Parliament, Jess Pugh, State Member of Parliament for Mount Omni, representing the Premier and Honorable Minister of Multicultural Affairs, David Crisapulli, I think he's somewhere here, the leader of the opposition, Senator Paul Ska, City Councillor Sarah Hutton, thank you for your help all these years. She is representing the Lord Mayor of Brisbane, and Wayne Briscoe, Executive Director, Multicultural Affairs, and Brisbane City Councillors Charles Trunk and Emily Kim, and Anton Swan, Patron, FSOQ and Bronwyn Swan, and our corporate sponsor. This is our fourth consecutive year. As in previous years, what we are doing, what we are showcasing today is the Sri Lankan cultural heritage, Sri Lankan culinary heritage, and we are doing it with other multicultural communities in Queensland.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and it's such a privilege to join you today at this very special day where we celebrate all things Sri Lankan. And can I too start by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land on which we gather and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Thank you, Jay, for your warm welcome, your invitation, but more importantly, making all the politicians feel so welcome, and it's such an honour to join members of the Sri Lankan community that are here today to witness culture, performance and in particularly the children who are the next generation of leaders for the Sri Lankan community here in Queensland. I have one very quick message to thank the Sri Lankan community here in the southwest suburbs of Brisbane and Queensland for your determination, for your drive, but also your economic productivity. So many local businesses here in Queensland have Sri Lankan origins, and we are so proud to have so many friends here today from the business community and all of our sponsors.
It is my absolute privilege to be here and to be representing the Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner. Now, I do want to say a big thank you to the Jays who literally spend hundreds of hours pulling this event together. It is not an easy event to do, and I want to say a big thank you to you both for your advocacy and for your efforts in making this wonderful day a reality. Now, we know that Sri Lanka has done an amazing job of integrating into Australia, and they have brought some of the best engineers, architects, academics, and many specialised professions that have just contributed to the wonderful economic development of our city and our nation. So thank you so much for what you have contributed to our country, and may it continue to grow from strength to strength. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. Centenary Real Estate, thank you for being here. Centenary Memorial Gardens, the NAB, and we also have the Mansfield Family Practice as well. So without these sponsors, these events don't happen. So a big thank you for you digging deep and supporting one of the wonderful festivals that we have in this community.
thank you very much for having me back again this year. And I just want to make the observation that Australia and Sri Lanka have had diplomatic relations for 77 years now. So this isn't a short-term partnership. This is long-term. It's embedded and our values are so similar. And I want to thank you, Dr. J, and indeed your team for what you do in not just keeping your culture alive, but showing all of us how important it is to us as a society. And as someone who comes from a multicultural background, my father migrated to this country, I just want you to know how much you're welcomed and how much we are better because you have made that decision to migrate. We're better because you keep your culture alive. We're better because you've immersed into ours. And I just want to thank you very much for what you do.
The fourth Sri Lanka Day Festival, and as the local member I am so very proud of this event and how it has grown over the last 4 years. And I just want to keep my remarks to confined to comment on a couple of fantastic developments we've had this year for the Sri Lanka community. The first is that last month the Sri Lankan Women's Forum was formed under the leadership of Jayantha and Jay, and this is a fantastic development for the Sri Lankan community because it means that the women of the Sri Lankan community will have their own voice. The other thing that I really love about this festival is that people are not just welcomed, but we are all included. If you look around today, there's not just members of the Sri Lankan community, there are many members of the Mount Ommaney community visiting today because it is such a fun, fabulous expression of culture and what makes it rich and what makes it beautiful. And the dancing and the food is just spectacular. And that's why this day will continue to grow in numbers and success year on year because everybody is welcome and everybody is included. And I'm so excited to see the strength of the bonds between the Sri Lankan community and the other cultures grow as we see some of those other cultural performances today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to be here today. Dr. J, to you and your team, congratulations once again on putting a fabulous event on. The links between Australia and Sri Lanka go back decades, and it was actually at this event that I learned that a contingent from Sri Lanka actually sailed with the Anzacs to Gallipoli and fought side by side with the Anzacs at Gallipoli. That is the depth of the bond between Australia and Sri Lanka. So thank you so much to our Sri Lankan community for opening up your hearts, your spirit, your culture, all of us here in Queensland. Thank you for the contribution you make to our Australian society. It's events like this that represent the very, very best of Australian values. Thank you so
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to a very important item of this program. That is to recognize 3 community service champions who have done very well. Dedicated their life over the last 3 decades to the Sri Lankan community and shown so much leadership and exemplary service. Today, 3 exceptional individuals will receive our Community Service Champion Award. Over a long period of time, they have made an exemplary contribution to the Sri Lankan community. Our first award goes to late Mr. Dharme Ratnayaka. Driven by the passion for community leadership in 1990 with Mrs. Kanti Vijosoma, he established the Sinhala Association of Queensland in 1990 to foster Sri Lankan culture, Buddhism, Sinhala language, and assist new migrants. Later, as the president of the Sinhala Association of Queensland, he established Saralanga, the premier Sri Lankan annual cultural show in Queensland that has grown over the years to preserve and nurture Sri Lankan cultural heritage. In 1995, he established the first outdoor annual Sinhala and Hindu New Year festival in Queensland that has grown over the years as one of the highly attended events by Sri Lankans and other communities. Dharme passed away last year after illness at the age of 80 years. Today, our award to him is presented to his beloved wife, Amara Ratnayaka, Mrs. Amara Ratnayaka. We now call upon Mrs. Amara Ratnayaka to come on the stage. Our next award goes to late Mr. Lal Mendes. Lal worked tirelessly to help better the lives of the wider community and as a senior member of the Federation of Sri Lankan Organizations in Queensland. He was the immediate past president of the Sri Lanka Sports Association of Queensland, one of the FSOQ member organizations. In this capacity, he staged a very successful annual cricket carnival with generous funding support from the then Brisbane City Councillor, Angela Awan. His close association with Angela helped us gain funding support for the first Sri Lanka Day Food and Multicultural Festival in 2021 and in following years. As the FSOQ, Lal shouldered the responsibility of the finance lead, in which he looked after the financial governance of the Federation. One of his notable contributions to work on an application to get the ACNC accreditation for the Federation. Lal passed away last year after brief illness at the age of 69. Today our award to him is presented to his beloved wife, Davina Mendes. Our next award recipient is Mrs. Kanti Vijayasoma. Being a truly community leader, Kanti, after arriving in Rockhampton in 1987, was instrumental in organizing the very first multicultural function under YWCA in this cattle town. In 1992, with few others, she was instrumental in starting the first Sinhala language school in Brisbane at the Migrant Resource Centre. In 1993, with Dharme and other like-minded community leaders, she established the Sinhala Association of Queensland and became its founder president. This association has now grown to become a prominent community organization in Queensland with a Sinhala language school and a senior citizens group. In 1994, she organized the first exhibition on Sri Lanka at the Cavendish State School. And since 1995, she has been a program producer at the Sri Lankan radio of the Radio 4EB. And 1996, served as the convener of the radio group. Overall, Kanti has served and led the Sri Lankan community over several decades.
I sincerely thank the FSAQ and other people who are involved in selecting me to give this award. As he said, I came to Australia in 1986. 1987 itself, I managed to do the first multicultural show there, and a small cattle town, but it was very well received. And after we moved to Brisbane, got engaged in so many things, including the Sinhala Association and all the Sri Lankan community, as well as other communities.
Balan Saki Sat Samuduru Gemere
to be up here to acknowledge the organisation of this event and the many volunteers who have made it happen, but also to note that part of our sponsorship of this event is based on the fact that organisations who are successful in getting the events demonstrate welcoming other communities, showing their culture to other cultures and demonstrating inclusion. And I think this is done very well here. We have an independent assessment body that assesses all our grant applications, and I'm sure that is one thing that impressed that body when the application came in and it was obvious that this event was inclusive of many cultures. So congratulations and happy Sri Lanka Day. Thank you.
Happy Sri Lanka Day. I want to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to all the supporters of this Sri Lanka Day. That obviously includes our wonderful volunteers who put in countless hours to try and make this event happen. We also thank the Department of Cultural Affairs, Lord Mayor, Councillors Emily Kim, Sarah Hatton, and Charles Strang for their support with the grants and making this event a possible event. A big shout out also to our event partner, Centenary Memorial Gardens. Now they have been our event supporting partner for 2 years. We would also like to extend our thanks to Nalin from Mansfield Family Practice. I also, finally, but not least, want to thank Leela and her team from Centenary Real Estate and Alex and the team from NAB.
We're very proud, all of us standing here, to be part of a government that is absolutely committed to this day through our generous sponsorship, but also committed to multiculturalism in Queensland. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Leanne. Ibowan, everybody. Ibowan. It's fantastic to be here for another Sri Lanka Day. Can I acknowledge all of the VIP guests, but most importantly, as a member for Stretton, I'm very, very honoured to have so many Sri Lankans living and working in the Stretton electorate, and in particular, a special mention to all of the hard-working Sri Lankan public servants. I know many people here from Queensland Health, Transport and Main Roads, Treasury, Planning and Infrastructure, all of the big departments. I think the Queensland Government really, really benefits from all of our hard-working Sri Lankan heritage public servants.
Listen, my connection with the Sri Lankan community started back a little bit past 2001 when I first visited the Sri Lankan Buddhist monastery at Constantine Street at Ellen Grove, and was very impressed then of what they were doing within the Sri Lankan community, not just spiritual, but also they established a school there so that the mother tongue, your mother tongue, can be progressed for this generation and for the many generations to come. And over the years, they have developed that site into what is very, very special place, actually. And if you ever get a chance to drop in to say hello in Constantine Street at Ellen Grove, I'm sure they'll greet you with open arms and be willing to show you what they've really developed on that site. And they're continuing that development as well. Thank you very much, Dr. J.
And as a young councillor myself, I can see that Brisbane provides so many great opportunities for people from all different backgrounds, and that's why I'm so thankful we have all of our elected reps here today, and Brisbane is such a great place for us to work, live and learn as well, and I hope that everybody enjoys their day. We're all here to say thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
शीशा आखे हाण दिए तू मून दी कापी लगदी है शीशा आखे हाण दिए तू मून दी कापी लगदी है
Thank you all, and it is my delight to be here today, the first time as the member for Inala. I'm very blessed that I have a large Sri Lankan community in Forest Lake and around within my electorate, and so they have always warmed me welcomely, and I have had many great times with people from Sri Lanka. And so I'm really looking forward to spending some more time with you here all today and to see the wonderful things on offer at all of the stalls, and I wish you all the very best festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Just see, FSOK partnering with Multicultural Queensland. What a great slogan. And we have been always appreciating the presence of our community with us. Absolutely great. And every year for the last 4 years, we have seen growing this festival to a higher level, very much of high level on the Sri Lankan and multicultural community here. Thank you, Senators, for joining us here. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Opposition Leader. And then, Jess, you had been with us for the 4 years and supporting us. Sarah, should mention you. It's excellent support we have been having from every one of you. Charles, to mention you. And then, Department of Multicultural Affairs, Director General, and the Department Grant Office and every one of you. We thank. If not for any of you, we could not have done this. And also to our institutional supporters, Leela, National Australia Bank, and of course Nalin. What a great support we have been having. Thank you everyone in the FSOK management committees for that wonderful, wonderful support we have been having. It is to the community, finally, I would like to say thank you everyone for joining us today, and let us meet the Sri Lanka Day 2025 even greater than what it's now. Thank you. Thank you very much.